Good afternoon. I didn't see you there. I was looking over some things that I picked up yesterday at a quilt show. A couple of my friends and I went to the Northern Shenandoah Valley quilt show. It was a good time. And the theme of the show this year was my favorite color is plaid. So there were plaid pieces in lots of the quilts. They had a very nice raffle quilt. Now the show is still going on well, it ended 11 minutes ago. So I'll take a closer up picture of that. It's an amazing quilt. I picked up some business cards. They had a very nice Quilt of Valor presentation. And when I was sorting and shuffling things, I found a Mad About Plaid book in my newly acquired stash of books from my sister, and it has some pretty nice pictures in it. I know my friend Diane, that she loves plaid homespun looking quilts. I know that she will really like that quilt, so I need to share that with her when I see her next time and share my Mad About Plaid book. It's pretty old. It's been around for a while. Let me see what the copyright is. Oh, 2004. This book is quite old. 20 years old. 2 decades. But still has good patterns in it. The quilt show was a wonderful time. I didn't take a lot of pictures. I took a few pictures of quilts that inspire me. But I'm going to put that on my blog so you can look at the pictures and read what I have to say. So be looking for a blog post. And when I get that up, I'll mention it here on Blabfest Friday. I'll put it in my list of things to do so that hopefully I'll have it ready for next week. I have several topics to talk about. I do have, and this takes a long time, I do have the car quilt on the big machine. Now, I haven't started quilting it. It is just on the machine. I pieced the back together, and it's a car quilt, so it's scrap stuff. It has some Christmassy looking fabric on the back. You'll get to see that later on, but it is on the big quilt frame. And I need to get that done. It's just going to get an overall edge-to-edge quilting. Nothing super fancy, nothing really custom, just edge-to-edge. Last week, I forgot all about the weather quilt until I was at the end. I had it ready to go, and so I promised you while I had you on camera that I was going to show you today. Well, I have all of January and all of February together. And to tell you the truth, this would be a nice size lap quilt. And you can see where there were certain weather patterns, like there's a big white spot where there's lots of white backgrounds where it was no precipitation or no clouds. It was beautiful weather, and it may have been cold, but it wasn't rainy or too cloudy. Or now for March, and I am starting to cut out March's block. Well, I have 2 blocks done for March because they were easy. We were at my sister's for Easter, so those were the 2 days we were in Delaware at her house for Easter, because they're very simple blocks I picked so that I could get those kind of blocks done quickly. But we were home a lot in March, so there's a lot of West Virginia blocks, and I know that there are 20 blocks that have green in the majority of for cloud cover, because it was gray and dreary and cloudy. 20 days of that. So I know I'll be cutting a lot of green for March. And I used this chart to tally the different colors I needed and pieces that I needed, so that instead of cutting them one by one one at a time, I could streamline the process of cutting and make it go quicker, and maybe even kit those up and do them when I have a free moment. So that was, I got the weather quilt done, and I am cutting March. And we didn't have too many travel days in March. There were 3. So that's that really fancy block. That's why I picked that for travel days, because I knew there would never be too many actual blocks that go for travel. So I'm happy with the progress, even though we're almost halfway through April as I'm filming this. It'll be all right. I can run behind. It'll give me something to do whenever I get bored. Oh, I didn't show you this last week either. Speaking about forgetting things, my sister, well, I told you about her Acts store, the Acts of Kindness store near her, the charity and store. And she found this embroidery. It has some cross stitch on it, but it's embroidery, and it's framed. I paid $4 for it. She said she's seen it there for like a month, because $4 is pricey for that thrift store. And I liked it so much, because my neighbor in Michigan, when we go to Quilt Guild meetings, whenever anybody says to me, "You got a lot of stuff done," my neighbor says, "That's because her husband cooks." And they all go, "Oh, that's nice." So this is perfect for my Michigan kitchen, and I'm sure that my neighbor will agree with me. She will love this. The next up, I did make some progress finally on my Christmas UFO. I got a block done. It is a cute block. I think I'll keep the pattern for this and maybe use it somewhere else. This bow looks so 1980s. It just needs to be attached to a goose. And then it'll be a perfect 1980s block. But it didn't come from the 80s. It didn't. 2013. So it's been around for a while, but not since the 80s. I am going to end on that note and share the spring flowers that I bought a flat of pansies. Now, those won't survive here in West Virginia if I let them here, but if I take them to Michigan, it's 80 degrees here today, and the wind is blowing. It's like a blast furnace outside, but it's cool inside because we haven't opened any windows. If I let those here past the first weekend in May, they will not survive. In Michigan, the weather is so much cooler. It's like the air conditioning that I don't have here in West Virginia. Last year, when I emptied my flower pots, these same flower pots, the pansies out of them, there were still live pansy plants. Now, the flowers weren't looking so good, but there were still plants at the end of October when I emptied out all the pots. Here, they wouldn't survive till after May 15th because it will get even hotter and it will be dry and not a fun place to be. If it's not super humid, there won't be mosquitoes here like the ones in Michigan, but you know, can't have everything everywhere. That's how that works. So I am ending my note on spring flowers. My bleeding hearts are up, and even though it's hot today and the breeze is blowing, it's still a beautiful day and a good day to get some quilting done. I would love it if you would get in touch with me through my contact information and send me pictures of projects that you would like to share. I've had some from Oregon and some from Colorado that I haven't shared on here. I need to get her permission because the pictures were beautiful of applique quilts. So please, send, even if it's not finished, if it's just a block, we all like to look at stuff. So please send some stuff for us to look at. Eye candy, if you will. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. See you on Monday for applique with a light box. This is mind blower. See you then. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.